Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Top Gaming, and today's episode of Backlog Reviews is on the Demon Tearing, Blood Pool Swimming, and Shotgun Hooking game in Doom Eternal. The fast-paced and cyber-enhanced sequel to Doom 2016, a major change from the original which divided fans of its predecessor. We'll be going over its ins and outs, what made this one different, how I felt about it in comparison, even going over its DLC in the Ancient Gods Part 1 and 2, and just like always we'll be going over the story, gameplay, and performance on the Steam Deck before giving the game a rating out of 10. And make sure to stick around to the end of the video to get a sneak peek on what game I'll be reviewing next. So strap in and get ready as we prepare to launch and save Earth from a demon invasion. Starting off with the story, we pick back up 8 months from the previous game, and the Doomslayer is once again called upon begrudgingly to save the Earth from a demon invasion caused by Samuel Hayden's attempts to harness the power of Hell to power Earth. As you may imagine, it went terribly wrong. You wake on your ship. Yeah, I have no idea how you end up on the ship given the ending of the first game, but whatever. You and Vega, with the help of some scientists, can teleport you here and there with the task of taking out the Hell Priests that are allowing demons to cross over from Hell. There's some extra twists and turns involved, and you ultimately link back up with Hayden, and with his help you go into some of the deepest layers of Hell to recover a demon sword, which is the only method to take down a Titan. The story, while far more fleshed out from the previous game, is still very straightforward and easy to follow. Nothing about it is overly complicated, and I did enjoy the extra lore they added to the series as a whole. Moving on over to gameplay now, we have a far different game here, which of course is what led some people to prefer Doom 2016 over this one. The game is not only quicker, but has more verticality, more gadgets, cybernetic enhanced enemies, and ultimately just asks a lot more from the player. Those cyber enemies are not only new additions, but they're also beefed up versions of old ones, as well as new abilities, which is where your new abilities come into play, as you can't fight them the same way you did in the previous game. You can't fight them the same way you would their more fleshy counterparts. You can't play this game either as if it were Doom 2016. Enemies are far more aggressive, and the level layouts are designed with you moving around much more in mind. Some of the new gadgets, for example, are grenades, both ice and regular ones, a flamethrower that will have armor spawn off of burning enemies. There's much more bigger emphasis on jumping and double jumping, and you also have to use your dash a lot more to avoid enemies charging at you and trying to smash you into the ground. There are monkey bars around the area that you can swing off to get some airtime or just to reach some higher areas. In the second half of the game, you get an attachment for your super shotgun that will allow you to hook on enemies and thrust into them, and by attacking them with the shotgun afterwards, you get armor from them. Sort of like the whole Scorpion, but instead of doing the whole, you instead just launch yourself into them to deal even more damage and also have an armor spawn off of them after a successful hit. When I say the most basic of levels are twice as fast as the average level in Doom 2016, I really do mean it, as the entire game is built around movement, and while Doom 2016 itself was a fast-paced game, it simply doesn't compare in the slightest. You're comparing Usain Bolt to try to race a cheetah. It's just not a race for real. Now, prior to playing this game, I actually came off pretty disappointed from Doom 2016. I finally got around to playing it back in 2024, and given how much it was talked about for its goriness, general pace, and the fact that it was in Game of the Year conversations, I was honestly underwhelmed by the time I wrapped it up. I felt like the level design was actually hurting the experience rather than helping it, and having a keycard hunt was annoying, and the overall final third of the game was just rather frustrating with how little I felt I could actually do to help myself. Doom Eternal solves all those problems while introducing new ones for you to figure out, and I greatly enjoyed the new speed at which the game was playing, as I felt it was exactly how Doom was meant to feel. I understand sometimes less is more, but this game flat out wasn't superior in every single way I could compare it to in its predecessor. The only problem is that it makes the same mistake that the last one did by having a terrible final boss, except this one has 2 phases, so it's doubly as annoying. Now, in regards to performance, the game is rated as Steam Deck playable, and frankly, it's far better looking and running than I expected it to be, I'm not gonna lie. It sits at playable due to Bethesda network stuff and a warning about text size, but none of that actually gets in the way. I noticed an actual graphical improvement from the previous game, as it was clearly optimized in a loving manner because the game runs buttery smooth on the Steam Deck. I can't recall a single bug or glitch I encountered, and while the frame rate did dip on occasion, it was never egregious, and it never personally bothered me. No freeze framing, no save issues, which, speaking of, I think they have really good checkpoints in this game, but overall the experience was very enjoyable on the deck, and it's definitely one of those games that should be looked at as a prime example of how to optimize a game for it. Okay, now let's talk about the DLC real quick. And man, it is a massive black eye on what otherwise a great game from start to finish, aside from the 2 final bosses. I got the season pass in the winter sale before I had even finished the game because of how much I was enjoying it. All I knew about the DLC ahead of time was the fact that people said it wasn't good and that it was so much harder than the base game. Which, mind you, I played on ultra violent, which is equivalent to hard, I guess. So I played the DLC at the same difficulty as well. The story takes place right after the main game, with it basically dwindling down to, sorry Mario, your princess is in another castle. Because the threat to Earth is still around, and you have to go kill this god sort of entity. Like, they don't really say it's the devil himself, but like a creator of some kind. It's kind of dumb, but yeah, you have to go kill him. The first DLC ends with a cutscene of the boss taking physical form, and at the end of the second DLC is when you actually face him. So I'm going to come out right now and say it. Do not waste your time on the DLC. It is absolutely terrible. New enemies introduced are just an Eye of Sauron tower. Spears would basically just make demons twice as fast, have twice as much health, and deal twice the damage, while making them 5 times more aggressive, which makes them 10 times more annoying. And if you don't kill in the ultra specific way the game tells you to, it will just plop into another demon and start the process all over again. Besides that, you get another iteration of a demon that already exists, but it nerfs your movement abilities until you kill it, and a screamer that when killed adds temporary damage boost and speed boost to all enemies in range. The final boss is actually such a shit show of a boss that for the first time ever in my gaming career, I lowered the difficulty all the way to the bottom just to fight him. Even then, it still took me dozens of tries to beat him because of just how much bullshit he's constantly throwing at you, and the opportunity to actually do damage to him is so small, and it makes the entire fight not only super inconvenient, but just outright lame to deal with. Meanwhile, he's constantly sending other high-powered demons to distract you and kill you. It's also 6 phases long for no reason, and the longer it drags on, he just throws more bullshit at you, tougher enemies, and it just makes it all the more annoying to actually land damage on him. It drags the fight on, and it makes it fucking terrible. As for the regular missions, they have twice the amount of demons. No bullshit. Think of any level in the main campaign that had a lot of demons to fight. Now add 2 more of every single big guy demons, 3 more of the eyeball ones, 2 of the blind Hulk dudes, and 10 more of each of the father enemies. This is actually absurd that the devs sat down, created this, and then had the balls to have someone play test it, and then that person must have been mentally handicapped because they then approved it to release as is. There is nothing memorable about this DLC at all aside from the absurd fucking challenge that it is, and the fact they pull a fucking endgame moment at the end with the other Doom guys coming out of portals to help Doom guy. It's actually really, really stupid. I would give the first DLC a 5 out of 10, and the second one a 4, if not a 3 or a 2 out of 10. They suck, and there's no reason to play them, as there's no fun to be had. If I could, I would go back and refund them. Okay. With all that out of the way now, how did I feel about Doom Eternal at the end? The obvious thing, like I said before, was the fact that I thought it was far superior to Doom 2016. And frankly, my biggest issue with the base game is the final 2 bosses that play out very similarly. Dealing with dozens of enemies on the ground, while also having to target another demon the size of a skyscraper right in front of you, and the game is playing the floor as lava with you, where more than half of it is dealing damage to you if you touch it. All the while, the big demon attacks you with big area effect attacks. It's like a real sour note at the end of the game. The main game took me about 16 and a half hours to beat, where I unlocked 16 of 50 achievements while playing on ultra violent difficulty. Adding on the time it took me to beat both DLCs, I ended at 29.3 hours, and I got 8 more achievements. The main campaign is loads of fun, and a prime example of how a fast-paced action shooter should honestly be, not only from the feel of it, but also from a gameplay standpoint as well. And of course the cherry on top is the fact that it not only ran great, but it looked amazing on the Steam Deck. So at the end of the day, I think the game honestly deserves an easy 9 out of 10. If Doom has ever interested you as a franchise, or you're hesitant to play the game given the change of pace, I highly encourage all of you to take another look. Give the game a shot, and see just how good it is for yourself. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Leave any comments or questions you have down in the comment section down below, and I'll make sure to get back to all of you. Let me know which Doom game is your favorite all time. I hope you liked today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Peace.
Crypto here. How's the view from the safety of the mothership?
Let's just say I'm glad I'm up here and you're down there. Loathsome little planet. The human military industrial complex. Exterminate them! Now!